Hey everyone, how are you? Griff Hamlin here. I'm was actually just kind of putting my pedal board and stuff together for we're heading up to Mammoth tomorrow. Actually, we're heading out, and I was putting my pedal board and stuff together, and I thought, well, why don't I take a moment and explain what I've got here and what I'm doing with it. So this is just a little gear fun. Sorry for the carpet. Hope it doesn't give you any kind of episode. But I have this pedal board right here is what I've been using lately. It's working out really well for me. And hey, Mike, I'm just going through the pedal board. So the first thing is an Area 51 wah. I happen to really like this wah. I tried it out, and it's got a whole bunch of controls on it. You can adjust like how bright or how much the sweep is, and you can just really tailor it to exactly what you want. So if you have a chance, I really do like the Area 51 wah. And then from there, I'm going into the Vibe machine, which let me see if I can. I don't know how to position the phone so that you can see what I'm doing, and I can play. So I don't know. I'm gonna kind of just set this somewhere. Let me see if I can figure out a place to set this. Yeah, that'll work for the moment. I know, that's super cool, isn't it? What a great shot. But this will give you an idea of what the Vibe. This is the Vibe machine. So there's, clean, no effects at all. This is me through the NACE Pro 18. So I add the Vibe, and I get kind of the Robin Trower thing. Get that swirly, swooshy thing. Okay, so that's what a Vibe does, and I'm running it second in the chain, right after the wah, and then from there, coming down to the Octopus. The Octafuzz is by Full Tone. It's an octave fuzz, so obviously going for kind of a a Hendrixy type of thing. And it's not something that I use a lot, but when I use it, I like it. I'm going to come back to it though, because after the Octafuzz, I want to explain this sort of bottom row of four here, because there's a lot of reasoning and a lot of thought that goes into this. Right now, you'll notice that I'm playing into my NACE, and so I'm very comfortable with that sound, and I know how that's going to sound. But up in Mammoth, I don't know what amp is going to be on stage. This is what we call a backline gig. So because there's a bunch of different bands, they don't want to change, and they don't want to have to bring up different amps and all this different kind of stuff. So not everybody gets their own amp. Most people don't get their own amp. We have to use whatever's on the stage. So I told them that I wanted something either Tweed Twin type of thing, or like a Marshall, just a standard Marshall JCM 800 type of thing. I know how those work. So I'm hoping that that's what I get. But you never know. So the reason, so that's why we have what we have here. So the first thing I have is the OCD. And the purpose of the OCD is to turn whatever amp is in front of me into a slightly overdriven, somewhat Marshall-y sounding thing. And there's a lot of pedals that go in this position right here, the full tone position. Sometimes it's a Boss Blues driver, and the only reason it's not a Boss Blues driver is because the OCD has a little bit more tone shaping available. I've also been experimenting with a Alexander Pedals has one that's called the Jubilee, and it's supposed to basically sound like a Marshall Silver Jubilee. So what I'm going for is sort of a really warm, vintagey, Marshall-y type of tone. So if I can set you down again, I'll turn that OCD on, and you'll now hear. It's just a light breakup, but it also tames the high end. If I roll off the volume on my guitar a little bit, you almost don't even notice it's on. And to be perfectly honest, that pedal will probably not go off the whole show. That pedal will probably be on the whole entire show. And it's to tone shape and to set up the gain staging for the amp, for whatever amp is in front of me, and I don't know what that'll be. Okay, so now that that's on, I can explain to you what the Octopus and the BB Preamp do. If I run the Octopus into a dead clean amplifier, it sounds really bright and really piercing. But now that I have a little bit of dirt going on, I can click that Octopus and it kind of tames it. Okay, so it's, you know, it's got the Hendrix thing going on, obviously. So there's just the OCD. There's the Octopus. Right? The BB Preamp is basically acting like a tube screamer. The only reason, again, I'm using the BB Preamp instead of a tube screamer is it has a bass and a treble control. So again, I have a little bit more tone shaping because I don't know what amp I'm going to be using. And this will give me my Stevie. So for lead playing and general, you know, causing a mess. And then last but not least is this little Analog Man modded EQ. And the only thing this is going to do is make things a little bit louder. And I don't even know if you'll be able to hear the difference. But that is literally because it's a 7-piece band, and I don't know who the sound man's going to be, and I don't know if he's going to be paying attention, although I suspect he will be. It's a big show with a lot of big people. He'll probably be paying attention, and he'll boost my solos a little bit for me. But if he doesn't, I'll go ahead and take care of it. So in that whole lower row, the OCD never turns off. The Analog Man happens during my solos, the graphic EQ. The Octopus is only probably going to show up in one tune, and the BB Preamp is going to be on a lot. It's basically my tube screamer, like I said. And then the top row, the Vibe Machine, I only use really in one, maybe two songs. I use it in When Evil Comes to Town. There's a vibe and a delay on the tone in that one, and so that's kind of what I have going on up top. The first, this guy here, the Strymon Lex, is a rotating speaker simulator that I will probably not use. I can't think of any time I'll use it. To be perfectly honest, I'll probably use it while Ty is soloing. It's one of these things that I just do a little bit sort of behind him. So while he's soloing, I give him a little bit of swirly, as if, you know, he was playing the Leslie. And truly, that's you'll probably never even notice that pedal exists. The Flint, I don't use the tremolo side, but the verb is nice for just a little bit of verb. And that's one of those ones that it depends on the venue. For the Flint, I may decide I want reverb. Oftentimes I don't. I just play it straight. We'll see. I have it there if I want it and if I need it, but I probably don't need it. And then I have a little bit of delay with the El Capistan. Let's see. And again, you'll barely hear it. But with the El Cap and the Vibe Machine, I have that covered for When Evil Comes to Town. All right, so that is my super fancy pedal board that almost does nothing most of the time. I basically leave the OCD on, and you'll see me hit the BB Preamp once in a while, and I'll hit the boost for the solos, but that's about it. It's a lot of pedals that mostly do very little. So hopefully this is somewhat useful to you if you are, building your own pedal board or putting stuff together. You can see that, a remarkable amount of the real estate here is taken up. Obviously, I have a tuner. That's important. Have a tuner. Tuners are good. I know a lot of people use the headstock tuners. I have yet to find a headstock tuner that will work in a loud environment very well for me. So I'm still a pedalboard tuner guy. But obviously, make sure you got a tuner. Wah pedal, not everybody needs it. You know, I like it. Certainly, Octopus. You know, not everybody needs an Octopus. So if I was going super bare bones, I'd have the wah, the tuner, the BB preamp, and the OCD, and that's it. I could totally do a gig on that alone. And like I said, that OCD slot, you know, that changes a lot. It's just, you know, anything to go there to sort of, you know, turn whatever they give me into something I can work with. It's tone shaping and just to add a little bit of squish from the overdrive. So anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you dig it, and hope we see you out in Mammoth. I know Mike, you're coming out. I don't see any other names scrolling by the people I know that are coming out, but if you're coming out to Mammoth, we're playing Sunday 11 o'clock at the Blues-a-Palooza. Should be fun. I'll try to get some video, and well, I won't, but I'll try and find video that other people take and share it with you. I'll be busy, so I never get to take my own video and stuff like that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this little pedalboard chat, as it were, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully I'll see you Sunday. Take it easy.